welcome to this edition of Supervisors Report with David Haubert. I'm your host, Dr. Marshall Kamena. Joining me now, filling in for Supervisor Haubert, is Melissa Hernandez. Welcome, Melissa.
Good. Hi, Marshall. It's great to be back into the studio. I know it's been a while since I've been here, and so it feels good to come back.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Now, since that time, you work for Alameda County District 1 in the position of Healthcare Director. You've worked in this position now for 6 years, 5 under Supervisor Haubert, and 1 with the previous Supervisor Scott Haggerty. Wonder if you could tell us what you do in this position that supports the county.
Yes, so coming in with Supervisor Scott Haggerty was a crucial time. That was when the full pandemic was at full force. Starting off in a time where a lot of us, were trying to just figure out and pivot with regards to all the regulations for COVID-19. And so we were able to work with our county staff to be able to bring in the first and one of the biggest facilities to be able to provide the vaccinations for folks here at the Alameda County Fairgrounds. And so it was had to be propped up pretty quickly. A lot of folks were, coming in from, you couldn't deny anybody. Everybody has to come in from all different counties as well, but making sure that the most vulnerable populations were, and the high-risk folks were being vaccinated first. But we worked hand in hand with Stanford here at the one in the Pleasanton Fairgrounds, and then we also had another one open in Oakland. Just being able to get those resources out to folks and how important it was. But also through our social services, we ended up providing food for folks where they would come in to the fairgrounds and then they would be able to get a box of food into their trunk. But other items that we've done is, while I was with Scott Haggerty, is we provided flu shots to the school districts. One of the locations was in Livermore, and this was a few years back. So making sure that our folks that need it the most, where they're partnering up with public health, healthcare services is a very big branch. If you ever go onto our website, you'll see everything underneath there. And now we're working just with the HR 1, Prop 1 cuts, and so really try to navigate that, making sure that the county is seeing where all the money's being adjusted or being taken away. A lot of social services are going to be taken away, and just wanting to make sure that we assist in all of our, with my role is to be able to assist Supervisor Haubert with questions that he has before a meeting. And the list can go on and on, but there's a lot of things that we do here in District 1 and all the other districts as well. But healthcare services is our biggest, healthcare and social services are our biggest departments in Alameda County.
Isn't David Haubert a wonderful person to work with?
He's great. He's very supportive. He's supportive to our entire team, and him being in government for quite a bit of time. He started when he was a dad and moving into the city of Dublin. He ran for school board and really wanted to make a difference. Then had the role of being a city council member, and then became our mayor. But being really part of Dublin is where he started off, and so that's where we have some things in common. But we really want to, at the end of the day, it's something that we really want to help people.
Thank you. What topics or announcements would you like to share with our viewers today?
So one announcement that we want to make a lot of folks aware of, and especially the nonprofits, because during COVID we really depended on our nonprofits. We still depend on our nonprofits and our community-based organizations. The county provides a lot of contracts, and those contracts are given to the majority of community-based organizations and also nonprofits. But one thing that we have just been made aware of is SB 1193. It's a bill in Sacramento by Wahab, and it is proposing rules that are already in place that the Board of Supervisors are already doing. And so the rules are wanting to have a 4/5 votes, but we already have a 4/5 vote on being able to provide any funds to nonprofits on an election year. The reason why I bring this is it's an important topic to talk about, and I really strive for folks to go and do their own research. So, like I said earlier, is our Board of Supervisors provide funding from the discretionary funds. So I want to be very clear, the discretionary funds that they provide nonprofits. And so the bill that she's trying to propose is to not have any nonprofits get any money on an election year. Well, an election year for a supervisor is a primary and also a general, right? Yeah. So it would more or less wipe out an entire year, because by the time a request is put on the agenda, so the request is put on the agenda, then it needs to be voted by the majority of the Board of Supervisors. So there's a lot of transparency already. The Board of Supervisors have been doing it, being able to go through this process for many, many years. And so I'm not sure if nonprofits are aware of it, but we are trying to make nonprofits aware of it, because it will actually be a disadvantage to them. And so I will give you an example. CityServe came and asked us for some funding to be able to put some unhoused individuals out of the stormy, cold weather into a hotel. And they asked us for a significant amount of money. So what we did is, the process is it has to go on an agenda. There's forms that they have to fill out, that each Board of Supervisors office has to fill out, and then it goes up for an approval. Very transparent, and all the Board of Supervisors have the ability to look at it. It's posted on an agenda. It gets voted on, and then it passes. So there's plenty of transparency. But the reason why I bring up CityServe is CityServe is one of our biggest nonprofits that really help not only in Livermore, but help the entire Tri-Valley and a little bit beyond. And so sometimes they need to be able to get that discretionary fund a little bit quicker. Again, it still has to go through the process. They ask, a letter is written to, placed on the agenda. All the Board of Supervisors get to look at it. The members of the public get to look at it, and then they're able to see what is going, what's going to be voted on. And the reason why I want to really strive on this is I really encourage, again, like I said, the members of the public, go look at it, because if you do, if this does pass, then it prohibits the Board of Supervisors from providing any discretionary funds to the nonprofits 90 days before a primary, and then 90 days before a general election.
I see.
So it wipes out a good majority of the year. And so again, it's only hurting our community-based organizations and our nonprofits.
That's very interesting. Previous Supervisor Scott Hagerty made a pledge for the Alameda County Capital Fund to provide $500,000 towards the Quest Science Center. And recently, our president, Supervisor Haubert, presented a check for $450,000 to complete the pledge. Would you tell us a little bit more about Quest and the Future Center?
Yes, so Quest has been around. Quest Center is a science center, is a building the next generation workforce, problem solvers, and community leaders. And they have been working on this project for a while now. And it really is, some main points here is their key programs for Tri-Valley innovation. It's a fair science in the park, engineering, exploration, family science programs at schools, and award-winning health and high school intern program. And so a little bit about it is there's some key points. One, they feel that there will be economic mobility and workforce development. 2, access and opportunity. 3, youth and family investment. And 4, local innovation and business ecosystem. And those are just a few. There's a lot more that they would be doing. But going back to the economic and mobility, Quest is a local workforce pipeline. And it's to really be able to gain and grab the youth, to be able to have them do work hands-on projects, teach them skills, and to prepare them for any jobs in the future. So really trying to get our younger generation involved. Again, like I said, getting them their hands to work and to be able to provide some opportunities for them to strive in the future. The access and opportunity portion is the families are constantly facing rising cost. Everything seems like it's so expensive. I remember when my mom would say, turn off the lights, or make sure you do this or that, because she was always. Now I feel like I'm doing that as an adult. But Quest provides accessible community-based science education for everyone. So the youth are very interested in this, and it's really important for them to go online, get involved. And then the youth and family investment, everything Quest does is grounded in one belief. Our kids are our future workforce. They're our voters, they're our problem solvers, and our leaders. So we're really trying hard here in the Tri-Valley, or I want to say Quest Science is trying really hard to get that next generation to be innovators, to be leaders, and make sure you go on their website. It'll give you an idea of what their Quest Center will look like in the future. But right now, as any other project, funding is always difficult. So they're looking at different avenues to be able to keep fundraising and achieve that goal. But it's definitely it would be open to all the kids, not just in the Tri-Valley, but all youth in Alameda County. And as you know, Livermore is always looking for to be able to produce something new, innovative. Having the labs here as well, and Livermore is such an essential part of this Tri-Valley community. But I always think that anything that we could provide to our younger youth, so that they can be force a big force to reckon with as they get older, is a great opportunity for so many. And even for the individuals and the young kids that need that opportunity with assistance as well.
Thank you for that very thorough response. Thank you so much. Now, for those who are looking for temporary work, the Registrar of Voters is hiring. Guess why? And maybe you can tell us about these temporary jobs and how one might apply.
Yes, so go to the Register of Voters website. There's everything's done by application now online. But this happens every single election, is to be able to get members of the public to also assist and help. Sometimes it's just going and picking up the ballots. They will get trained. The county does a good job on training folks, and certain jobs will be provided. But I know that sometimes individuals need, they just want to get out of their house and they want to help out and they want to do their part. And so being able to take up this opportunity of a temporary job, it's not an all-year job, but it's definitely a temporary job, to be able to assist in that and do your duty, but also get paid for it, is an opportunity for folks to come out and help during these important time to vote. So look forward to, of course, that is under the Alameda County Register of Voters department, not in our department, not at the Board of Supervisors. So please don't come and apply at the Board of Supervisors, but definitely they've been doing this for many, many years.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back here on this edition of Supervisors Report in just a moment. Welcome back to this edition of Supervisors Report with Alameda County District 1 Healthcare Director Melissa Hernandez. I'm so glad that you're here. You're doing a wonderful job. We may not need him anymore.
I know. I'm going to be having to step in for Supervisor Haubert.
Now, there's a Supervisors Roundtable coming up. I wonder if you tell us a little bit about that event and its purpose.
Absolutely. So we try to do this every year now, and last year was our second one. This is our third annual roundtable, and it's really what it is. It's a roundtable where we ask a lot of businesses and invite a lot of businesses to come and meet with us for an afternoon. We spend about 2 or 3 hours. We have sandwiches, something light. You don't want to have a heavy meal, but it's really to have that conversation about the relationship between the county and the businesses, and really being an avenue for the businesses to be able to ask questions. Sometimes it's more of an environmental public work stuff, or environmental, how do I get X amount of permits, if you own a restaurant. But also what our focus one last year was more of different type of development that was happening throughout the Tri-Valley and Fremont. We represent Livermore, Dublin, parts of Pleasanton, Sunol, and a big chunk of Fremont. And so we invited the economic development folks from those cities and we had businesses come forward about commercial housing, business opportunities, and how things were changing and how things were opening up with regards to COVID. But now moving forward is trying to have those businesses come back again, give us an update. Some of them will give us an update on real estate, how's the real estate doing, interest rates, and so on. Will give us an update on commercial building. As you know, a lot of commercial buildings sit empty right now, but I really feel like there's a future for them in the future. Also, how a lot of development, whether it be development with housing, how it also plays a role in other projects that come forward. So having those folks that really know those topics really well coming and having a roundtable, that's what we'll be doing again next month, and bringing those leaders and to have those communications with Supervisor Haubert, him explaining what resources we have at the county, and then also just sometimes it's just about having conversations and seeing what new ideas are coming up, and for us to just keep up to date.
Who would have thought several years ago that Stonebridge as a center might be even considered possibly for residential?
So, and those are the kind of the ideas and conversations that are had when you have a big development, right? And our malls have changed tremendously throughout so many years. It didn't happen just yesterday, but it's been an changing avenue for folks. If you travel and you, for instance, there's one in the Newport Beach area. When you look at the way those buildings were built, even though they were a while ago, they were being built for the future. More of the outdoor setting, more of the outdoor walking from shop to shop, adding restaurants, adding places for people to enjoy and spend pastime and to be able to eat, but also having some units around there. And that's what we're most likely seeing and changing in the future. But bringing all those folks together and brainstorming, and it's also them explaining to us what the near future is going to look like. I mean, look at the downtown Dublin in our downtown. The always the making of the downtown. I do have faith that we will get it done. But you will see, one, it's close to a BART station. The Pleasanton Mall is also close to a BART station, right? So if you can get folks there to come shop, eat, and spend some of their time in either Pleasanton or Dublin in those areas, and those projects take a really long time. But with regards to the downtown in Dublin, you look and see that the reason why you also need housing is, one, you have housing next to transit, and that's really important. Two, for the downtown Dublin is sometimes it offsets some of the money that's being, it offsets the funding, right? So if you can build some units and then also build retail, it will offset the money that has to come from cities. And in Dublin, it's always been known that we make our developers pay their way, and that's why we have always been able to set money aside for a rainy day. So, and I'll give you one last example with making sure you have a mixed-use good project is, let's say for instance you want to bring in a parking garage. If you want to bring a parking garage, well, you have to pay for itself, right? And so being able to build residential will offset the price of actually maybe creating that parking garage, or do you have the developer also build that parking garage? So you really have to look at the plan. You have to be able to look at how many units would be able to offset some of that price, but you also want to look at what retail will be coming forward, because that's really important. Things are constantly changing in the business world, and retail wasn't what it was before many, many years ago. But there are ways to find out what retail is really hot and what retail will stay there for years in order for it to work out in a downtown area, or to work out in any other visionary mixed-use project.
Just as an aside, I live in District 1, but I'm so proud of the relationship that District 1 has with that adjacent supervisor, Nate Miley, and you guys together are just a real team.
We are. Supervisor Miley has been around for a very long time, And so sometimes it's great. You
do
need
make-
that. You need that institutional knowledge to say, remember, can you remind me of what's going on in this project? But working together with Supervisor Miley's office is really important. And the reason why I say that is because, the Tri-Valley is kind of a little bit, we're towards the end of Alameda County, right? Especially Livermore and the city that you reside in,
Yes.
in that East County area. But the Tri-Valley, we're big producers. We're big innovators. We have some great businesses here, and we have great residents that really care about our community. But and Supervisor Miley has a great community as well too. And we're all different, right? And that's what I always like to remind people, even in cities, is the county is. We're one of the most diverse counties in the entire state of California. We're one of the biggest counties in the entire state of California. So being able to work well with another supervisor is a big plus. Because not only are we always concerned about our residents, but we also want to help our nonprofits. If you look at the mission of the Board of Supervisors, is to be able to help the most vulnerable populations. And so we, as the Tri-Valley, and including, I always want to include Fremont for our district, and Supervisor Miley has the majority of Oakland, so that's a big district right there.
He and I grew up in the same area.
Did you? Do you guys
Yes.
grow up? But just really trying to collaborate to be able to get stuff done. Be able to get stuff done in the county is a priority for both of the offices, and I really feel that working relationship and working relationships with other electeds is huge. And that's why we really enjoy working with Supervisor Miley.
Well, you're doing a great job, but I think he is too. Let me switch to the fair. It happens to be right in the middle of District 1. Did you know that?
Believe me, once the fair starts going, I like to come into the office, but sometimes I will work from home because it gets very loud in my office when I'm trying to take a meeting with the fair happening in our area.
Well, no matter what obstacles they face, they still keep coming back strong. I wonder if you might have a peek that you can share with the residents and what they might enjoy at the county fair coming up.
Yes, so Alameda County Fair obviously has been such a staple in Alameda County. We always get a lot of phone calls. We get a lot of folks, for folks that are watching this, our District 1 office is on the actual property of the Alameda County Fair. And so we get a lot of folks walking into our office thinking it's maybe a museum because it's in a beautiful historical building. But they often think that we're part of the fair. But no, we are a government agency, we're a government office, and we are there to help all. So we definitely answer a lot of their questions. But many people will walk into our office saying, I never knew this was here. This is such a beautiful building. And so, but we do get a lot of updates on what's going on in the fair. One, because we're there, and two, we want to be able to share it with some of our folks. So the dates for the fair are June 19th through July 12th, and they're open Wednesdays through Sunday. And the hours are from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. daily. The carnival hours, which I know this is where the most important part for the kids, is Wednesday through Sunday, 1 p.m. to closing, and then July 4th, 12 p.m. Closing after fireworks.
That's a big day.
It is. I remember taking my children there, and it was such a big, event. They would be so excited coming home from school, and then the rest of the day they would go spend at the fair. So it's kind of a little tradition. My kids know they will eventually still go, but it's really for the younger kids and the big kids at heart. But some of the fun things that are happening is, of course, the fair food. The new food items are Spam wonton tacos, pickled corn dogs, the Elvis Presley sourdough peanut butter, sliced banana, and bacon, dipped waffle sticks, also watermelon pizza. I've never had a watermelon pizza, but I guess it's good, and cucumber sushi, just to name a few. And of course, one of my favorites is pozole, because I love pozole. It's a Mexican dish. It's a healthy Mexican dish, and that'll be new, and you could probably go online and see what other food vendors will be there. But they will have $3 fair bites every Thursday, June 25th, July 2nd, and July 9th until 5 p.m. and every food booth participates. So I know that I always like to clip out my coupons and look for deals. So the $3 fare food bites is a great time to go, and then discounts on being able to do the blood drive March through 1st and June through June 1st. It'll give you a free general admission for tickets, and then also Feed the Need food drive and $1 ride day, and that'll be on Wednesday 24th. And so I just want to wrap up really quick with some of the celebrations that are happening.
Absolutely.
It is our 250th celebration for America. There will be a fireworks spectacular at 9:30 in the evening. It is the Red, White, and Blues Festival and Family Day at the Fair. And so that celebration is huge, and military branches will be celebrated as well. So you will see a lot of 250th birthday celebrations throughout the fair this year. But some of the concert lineups, and I cannot name them all, please go on their website, is the Gene Simmons Band, Twist on Taylor, the Lone Star, and also the Beach Boys is another one. Tower of Power, they're always a staple. And then Flo Rida, Ellie King, Boys to Men, and so many more. So there are going to be so many activities happening at the fair this year. And again, don't forget it's the 205th birthday of America. So make sure you wear your red, white, and blue. And you'll see so many different activities this year.
Thank you, Melissa. You were so full of information. Thank you for being here today and updating us. I'm Dr. Marshall Kamena. Join us for the next episode of Supervisors Report with David Haubert, right here on Tri-Valley TV. Thank you so much for watching.